Hello everybody, welcome back to the video. In today's video, I'm going to go over the catalog flashback for the Black Friday sale in 2019. Sale started. And if you don't know, this catalog flashback series is a series where I go over a past update or event that happened on the catalog just for nostalgia's sake, because it's fun to look back at some of the things that Roblox has done in the past that really stood out as fun events and fun things that brought the community together. And today we're going over the Black Friday sale in 2019, which was actually the very last sale that Roblox did ever. And I want to give some context leading up to this sale because I think it's important to realize what kind of happened before this so that you understand how people might have been feeling during this sale. So leading up to this sale, the other few sales before this were actually kind of declining in quality. The sale just before this, Labor Day sale 2019, didn't have any timed items, any limiteds, just a bunch of regular items. The sale before that, Memorial Day sale, had timed items but didn't have any limiteds. So you can see the common denominator here is that there are no more limiteds in sales. So people were kind of already expecting there to be no limiteds. However, the month before this sale actually happened in October, they did release Dominus Formiculosis, and that one released on a timer and then went limited right after that timer ended. So after about a half a year of no limiteds, they finally got one with one item. So people were kind of expecting a smaller sale, kind of like the other ones, but maybe they were hoping for a limited or two based on the Dominus that did release a month before. And also, usually the items were leaked prior to the sale happening, and that is the case with these, of course. People saw these big items, they're like, oh my god, this sale is gonna be huge, but then as it got closer and closer to the sale date, people realized that these were the only items releasing. So they only got about 7 items to sale, which is probably the lowest it has ever been. So even though they were big items, there were only 7 of them. So the first that released was Zabe Immortal Sword Venomous Bite for 20,000 Robux on a timer of 3 days. And all of these items released on a timer, and all the timers ended at the same time. And once again, like the Dominus, they all were limited after that point. So people were expecting the same thing to happen here, where they all were going limited after the timer ended, and then they were able to sell them. So over here, this was the first one that released, this 8-bit Immortal Sword. I think it looks fine. The original does look better, but this one is fine. It definitely profited quite a bit. If you got it originally, you were definitely able to make a profit. And it got 116 sales, which is kind of close to the original Immortal Sword stock, which is around 100. So if you bought this one, I think it's definitely a pretty good choice. I was the original owner of it, and I managed to trade it off, I think. So it definitely was one of the ones that did better from this sale, so not that bad. The next day, we got this Diamond Crystal Circlet, which was 865 Robux on a timer of 2 days. This was an addition to the Crystal Circlet series, but of course, as this one had quite a lot of owners compared to the others in the series, it did not do as great. You can still profit from it if you own it now, but of course it's not going to be as large of a profit as the other ones from the sale. And this was the only cheap thing this sale. Everything else was above 10,000 Robux, so this was a pretty kind of rich person only sale, I guess, based on how much Robux you had. So it's pretty unfortunate for a lot of people that were expecting some maybe cheaper items. This was the only cheap thing that released, but it's still pretty cool and nice addition to this sale. Next up, Ice Valkyrie released for 20,000 Robux, and this was the big item also. Of course, now it's definitely a fan favorite, has reached almost 400,000 Robux. It's definitely one people love a lot. People were kind of worried though, as it got a lot of owners, that it wouldn't do that well, but of course the demand kind of outweighed how many people actually owned it, and has done well over time. So if you manage to get this one, it's a very good demand item and a nice addition to the last sale. And then Video Dominant Crown, right over here, released for 12,000 Robux on a timer of 2 days once again. This one, despite getting less owners than the Valkyrie Helm, is doing worse than it. It doesn't have the same demand as the Valkyrie Helm, but it's still a pretty cool one. Reached 100,000 Robux just recently, so not a bad choice if you're able to get it, and I think it was a nice addition to the Dominant Crown series. Right over here, we have Disgrace Starstone of the Federation, released for 10,000 Robux for 13 hours, which was how much there was left for that. People really didn't like this one at first because all the other ones in the series ended up failing, but now over time it has been shown that this series is actually really great, as I think all of them have profited now. So if you manage to get it, you have gotten a huge profit, 100,000 wrap, which is pretty good for an item that was only 10,000. Got a few more owners than the Immortal Sword, but I think it was a pretty cool item, definitely not that bad. So if you got it, you were able to profit, and now it's a nice rare item. And actually there were 2 more, but they aren't listed here and when they released, but they released just before that necklace. But you can see them over here kind of in the 5-minute warning section. Viscountess and Viscount the Federation, they both released at the same time, and they had a bit of a larger timer than the necklace. So over here we have Viscountess, which is the rarer of the 2. It was the same price, but of course the female versions of these federations don't typically do as well or aren't as demanded, which is why this one got less owners, but it's been doing well now. Sold for $1 million, so it's definitely very rare and expensive item. I was an original owner of it, but I don't have it anymore unfortunately, so I probably should have kept it. But definitely a pretty cool item if you were able to get it, as it is doing pretty well now. Viscount of the Federation, this one got a lot more owners, 400 owners for Federation. It's kind of crazy, but this one's doing well. It definitely looks pretty cool. People do really like it a lot. So even if you bought it for 40,000, you're able to make a profit on it, and it might go up over time, but of course the large owner count is definitely going to hold it back just a little bit. And yeah, after those timers ended, they all went limited the following day. So if you're able to get any of these, they were all able to go limited afterwards. afterwards and you were able to make a profit. So yeah, that was pretty much this Black Friday 2019 sale. This was the last sale Roblox did. I think it was nice of them to go off kind of on a bang with releasing all these retextures of very huge expensive items. It was kind of nice to have just one more addition to those popular series before they stopped the sales, but this is how they ended the sales. So pretty unfortunate. It's been almost 4 years since this happened, so been kind of a while, but it's nice to look back at these items as they were some of the last few things that were even released. But yeah, that is this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.